Hey, my brother is here. Number one podcaster in Canada. If you're not, go to Spotify, go and search Emeka Nwarulor right now. But I follow his podcast and my life has never remained the same. All right. You guys are blessed to have these amazing people here today. Come on, let's celebrate. Let's welcome Emeka Nwarulor. Also, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I started, when you started speaking, and I must say it's been mind blowing, and it's almost like when you Kosola took my notes. Like I was like, what am I going to say again? Okay, well, it's great to be here. I only have two screens, so the way my is designed, I can't see the the chat session. So I probably will show the chat session after I am done. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. I have a slide to share as well. But great one, Maiwa and Onyikosola. Thank you for that. It's been a great session here. Let me just share my slide and then we'll jump right in. He said I have 20 minutes. I'm like, how do I do this in 20 minutes? Okay, I'll try. All right, so give me a few seconds here. I will share my screen. Okay, share screen. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes. Awesome.
Okay, great. All right, welcome, everyone. If you are watching in Nigeria, it's probably evening. Here in Canada, it's 12:46 p.m. So it's a great time to be here. I'm so grateful, Maya, for this session. I'll be talking on personal branding. Interestingly, you Consola, had set the stage. So I'll just probably building on what she has said so far. I'm talking about building a thriving global personal brand. All right. Just a bit of introduction. My name is Emeka Nwarulor. I'm a personal growth and branding speaker, personal brand strategist, author, and podcast host. I also work full-time. I work with the government of Saskatchewan here in Canada. And my mandate, my mission, which is, to help leaders stand out with confidence and make a lasting impact. So when I saw the theme of this conference, I knew that this was something that, resonated with me, and I couldn't, I couldn't turn it down, right? So I'm grateful to be here. And everyone who is listening, watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for being a part of this event. I hope that you take advantage of what you've been learning, because these are events that have helped me, in my youthful, I'm still still young, but growing up, these are events that I don't take for granted. I can count the event that have been impactful to me. Oftentimes they're usually free, right? I've gone to paid event, but this free event, most people take it for granted, but that's where, you can get a whole lot of value. So my objective today is that by the end of the session, you understand why it is important to build a personal brand and the steps to build a thriving global personal brand. I have the two keywords I'm going to be emphasizing a lot here is the word thriving, because I think it's very important that we emphasize that word. And I appreciate the fact this is a Christian platform. This is a faith-based platform, so it gives me the opportunity to talk a little bit more about the scriptures or the word of God. So just quickly to define, Onyikosola has done a good job at defining a personal brand, but I want to share this a little bit to give you some context also as to what a personal brand is. It's a recognized perception. The word there is perception. Oftentimes people don't place a value on who they are, how they perceive themselves, and also how people perceive them. It's a perception, right? Because oftentimes the personal brand is you, right? Your personal brand is you, it's personal, all right? It's a recognized perception of an individual based on their experience, expertise, actions, or achievements within a community, an industry, or the marketplace at large. So the question I have for you today is, how do you perceive yourself? Because a lot, the way people perceive you a lot of times is an outcome or an offshoot of how you even perceive yourself. personal branding is largely a mindset. Now, I'm not going to go into details of the physical structure or the things that you can see that has to do with personal brand, but I want to focus more on the things that you cannot see. Now, our mandate as believers, as individuals, is to thrive, right? To thrive means to flourish, to prosper, to increase. And we can see that in the scriptures, as Emeka also shared, that he has, in Genesis 1:28, that be fruitful, multiply, subdue the earth, and have dominion. So as Christians, as believers, as people who are building a personal brand, we must understand that we are called to thrive. We are called to thrive, not just survive, not just merely exist, but to thrive. It's very important that we get this concept. And thriving would, when we build our personal brand from the place of understanding that we're meant to thrive, it changes the perspective of how we do things. We discover deeper purpose of why we are here. We stop chasing happiness and understand that the pursuit itself, the mere existence, the assignment that we've been given is what itself is happiness. We begin to focus on our journey and not compare ourselves with others. We begin to embrace the process in our journey, and we appreciate who we are and where we're going to. It also helps us to raise our personal standards to live a life of excellence, right? It also helps us to build resilience in order to face difficult times and thrive, right? And this is probably not the usual kind of conversation you have about personal branding, and we can go, that in a much deeper section. But this one, I just want to focus on the mind. Our mandate again is to go global. The scriptures there, Matthew 28 verse 9, say, "Go ye into the world and teach nations." Right. So that concept there is that we are meant to go global. A lot of times there's this popular saying that think global, act local. Well, I agree, if you're already an established brand, yes, act local, but I want to say to you that even your actions has to be global, right? As much as you think global, also begin to act global, because your actions begin to reflect in how people perceive you, right? You have to develop a global mindset, perspective. You have to be open to new ideas. You have to, embrace diversity in your actions and how you work with people. I'm here in Canada, and one of the things that I have come to understand is that I'm not just here, as a number. I'm here to also make impact. But I also have to understand that I'm in a culture where there are different kind of people, and how we relate to each other is going to be different. But I have to come from that place of, diversity, right? Because if you're going to go global, you have to understand that that concept. And we can share more. I can share more on that for now. But also, going global means that we have to focus on long-term impact, right? As you're building your personal brand, you have to think long-term. There's certain things that I have done, 5 years, 10 years ago that has positioned me where I am now. And it's because I think long-term in my approach. So if you build your personal brand, don't just focus on what you're going to gain now. A lot of people are so in a hurry, and they think, oh, it's all about showing, maybe designing logo, or about just showing up on social media, which is important, but how far can you go, right? It's about building for the long term, and also building global connections. How is your personal brand relevant in a global context? Can people from other countries, invite you? Look, I heard that, Oyeko Sala shared about how she was invited to come speak in China, right? So it's important that we understand that our mandate is to go global. Now, when we build a personal brand, I came up with this personal brand matrix. And I think it's important that we understand that the concept of personal branding would help us achieve these 4 things, right? And even to build a brand that is thriving and global is hinged around these 4 things. Now, there are more to it, but these 4 things are also very key, which is the identity. What do you want to be known for, right? Your visibility, who knows what you do? Your impact, what solutions do you provide? And income. A lot of times people don't talk about money. People are, oh, I'm not, but your personal brand is one way to be able to increase your exchange value of the expertise that you provide, right? Or generate income for yourself. And there are several ways, this alone is a session on its own, but this is a matrix. So think about it from this perspective, that when I'm building my personal brand, number 1, it helps me establish an identity. People can easily know you for what you do. It helps you to become visible, because right now you are doing things that is putting you out there, right? You're also making impact. So you're thinking about the solutions that you're providing as a person, even as you develop your business. There's a personal side to it, there's a business side to the personal branding. And also it helps you increase the exchange value of your expertise, right? The amount I was paid 10 years ago is different from how much I'm paid right now to speak, because over time, building my personal brand, I have increased my exchange value for my expertise. If you are with me, drop a chat in the session. I probably will minimize my screen at some point to see your chat or your questions, or let me know if this is if you're following. So we're going to talk today. I'm just going to share quickly 7 steps that that is important when you want to build a thriving global personal brand. Number 1, identify your values. Right, your personal brand values should be aligned with your values. Values are simply the things that are important to us, right? For some, it is family, it is health, it is freedom, it is trust. You can say that your values is the theme of your life. It shapes how you interact with other people. It shapes how you are perceived, right? Your value provides direction for your choices and behaviors. They can be described as your strength. In terms of adversity, how you react is a reflection of your values. So we can't start a conversation about personal branding if you haven't identified your values, right? Your values are how you interact with the world, who you work with, who you tend to not work with, like so it helps to define who you work with and who you don't work with, right? For example, some of my personal values are, is growth, right? If I'm doing something that is not adding value, it's not, personal growth and even growth to those around me, then it's not something I want to do, right? If it's one of my value again is creativity. So most of the things that I do hinges around creativity. One of my value again is influence, peace. I value peace, right? Because when you're being a personal brand, you have to think about this entire concept, because people think it's just about the flashy things they see, but at the framework of your personal brand is your values, right? And you can do a test. There are tests that you can do to be able to identify your values. I probably will share this later on. There's a website that you can use, and you can identify your top 5 values. So in a paper or wherever you are now, write down the top 5 values that are important to you. Write it down, right? You can do the test later on, but whatever comes to your mind that serves as your value. Like I said, creativity is a value, influence is a value, family is a value. This would begin to guide you on how you build a personal brand, even how you build your personal brand business, right? And we move on. The next step is define your vision. Excuse me. A personal brand vision is how you intend to serve the world, the difference you want to make, and the value you want to create. The question is, who am I? What do I want to be known for? Now, how do I want to help others? Now, when it comes to defining your personal brand, you have to understand that it is your unique value proposition that is also tied to your target audience. So you want to define, a lot of times we see people, who go about, for career professionals who don't even have a personal vision statement for what they do and how they will work, right? So that's why they jump, from pillar to post to just find work. But they're not really they don't understand their vision and how it ties into the kind of place they work and how they also make impact at their place of work, right? So the task I have for you today is to write down your personal vision statement. What is it that your plan, you intend to do as a personal brand? What is that vision that you have, and how you want to make impact to the world? Right? It's important to write because it will reflect in everything that you do. Like I said, when I started, one of my personal vision statement is to help people, to help leaders, right? And I believe you're all leaders, and leadership doesn't have to be a position, right? It's a calling, it's an assignment, it's the fact that you're helping people, right? So when I say leaders, people think that, I have to be in a position to be a leader. No, right? So one of my vision is to help leaders stand out, right, with confidence. Right, yours could be you could say I'm a health and wellness coach committed to helping super busy professionals to eat better and exercise smarter so that they can stay physically fit and have more time and energy for the people and the things that they love, right? So your personal vision statement is how people interact with you, how you make difference in the world. And it's easy for people to be able to relate with you when you have a vision, right? The scripture that says that write a vision, make it plain, so that those that see it wrong with it. The reason why many people do not find that, buy into the idea or run with them is because they don't have a vision, right? The Bible says that the people perish for lack of vision, right? So your personal brand, if it's not hinged around a vision, is just a disaster waiting to happen. Am I making sense? Next, express your voice. Now, when I say voice, I don't mean sound. Your voice is an extension of your expertise, your experience, your story, your perspective. Your voice is your niche. Your voice establishes your credibility, right? So what's your area of expertise? What do people come to you to help them with? Where do people that you want to serve hang out, right? Is it offline? Is it online? Because there's a scripture that says that my people will hear my voice, right? And they know me and they follow me. The reason why a lot of people do not know you is because you don't have a voice yet. And the reason why they don't follow you is because you don't have a voice, right? And there's several ways to be able to express your voice. Now, there's another thing to find your voice, which I won't go into detail, and it's very simple. Just what are the things that people come to you mostly about for help with? Like, what do they come? What are the questions that the things that people come to you around to bring solutions to? That is your voice, and your voice is one way for you to be able to establish your personal brand and create credibility. Right? One way to establish your voice and express your voice is to create high quality content that showcases your expertise and demonstrate your value to your target audience, right? I mean, Oyinka shared something, some bit about this, about how you can also utilize social media platforms to engage with people and share your voice and share your thoughts and ideas and perspectives about a topic. We all have a voice, but are you expressing it, right? My sheep hear my voice and they know me. So if people don't know you, a lot of times people struggle to say, oh, people don't know me. It's because you don't have a voice yet, right? Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is a quote here. Visibility is as important as capability. You can be the best at what you do, but if you are hidden, no one will find you, right? If you're hidden, no one is going to find you. The next one here is to build your vehicle. And when you hear the word vehicle, like, okay, what is it? Your vehicle is how you deliver your solutions to the world. Your vehicle is how you connect and collaborate with other thought leaders in your industry, right? The task I have for you today is to write down 2 vehicles that you have to build this year to deliver solutions to the world, right? Your vehicle is what moves people from point A to point B, right? The solutions that you're providing that moves people from point A to point B. And it can be intangible. It can be tangible, what people can feel and touch, but it also can be intangible, right? What I'm sharing today is also a vehicle. My speaking, right? It's intangible, but it helps you to move from point A to point B by gaining clarity, for example, right? From expressing your voice, you begin to identify problems that you need to provide solutions to. Now, and there are several vehicles that you can build. If you notice, I'm using the word V, right? Vehicle, build a digital product, right? It could be an ebook, it could be a course, it could be you launching a podcast, whatever conveys your expertise to the world. You have to begin to think about it and begin to build one. It could be a software, it could be a website, it could be physical product, physical books, right? The idea is to be able to engage the world with what it is that you want to be known for or what it is that you do, right? So build your vehicle. And it's very important that you take that into consideration. The next one is invest in your visual image. I know, we're in social media where people just put anything out there, but you have to be careful what you put online. Visual image is everything. People see you before they hear you. A lot of times people don't put effort into their into their visual image, right? I mean, I could as well just show up to this meeting, with just any, random, I'm in my home, but everything how you show up, your visual image is so important because it creates an impression about you. So does the pictures you have, the visual image you have about you, does it represent who you are and what where you're going, or the services you're providing? You must constantly build and maintain a brand that resonate with what you do and with who you are. Presentation is as important as your product. There's a quote here. As you focus on building content, ensure your presentation is solid. right? So invest in that. You know, to learn how to design a good presentation. If you're posting on content online, ensure that you have a presentation, because a lot of times people I've had people come to me and just say, I like your post. Sometimes I scan through your post, but I go to see the images that you post, the content that you create, the images that you attach to those content, right? And check everywhere. Every known brand you know today have an image that they want to, used to be known for. Next is invest in your vocal image. This is another one here. A lot of people don't take it seriously, but vocal image is an impression the listeners form, but based on the sound of your voice. People hear you before they see you. Another concept again, right? So a lot of times people have, listen to my podcast, and by my voice, sound of my voice, they already created an impression about me. I mean, I've had speaking engagement by just people who listen to my podcast. So you must begin to invest in your vocal image. How do you sound, right? Listen to your voice. If you're someone who's going to be playing this in the public speaking space, always, work on training the sound, how your voice sounds, because it come across as if you're confident or not. I mean, in interviews, a lot of times people don't understand that the concept of the voice, showcase them to determine if they're confident or not, right? I don't know if I'm running against time. Let's say if it's almost time. The last one here I'm going to share is embrace vulnerability. Now, when it comes to being a personal brand, a lot of people are scared to put themselves out there. People are uncomfortable to put their face, their voice, their expertise out there. But you must embrace vulnerability if you're going to build a personal brand, right? No one, I mean, you must be afraid. You must be willing to, get judged. People will judge you. Sometimes people will not even understand you. People will think that you're weird by sharing, what you're doing, your stories, your journey. But don't let that stop you. Embrace vulnerability, right? And what do I have here? The best time to build a personal brand was yesterday. The next best time is today. And the last thing I want to leave you here with is, no matter what work you do, when all is said and done, make sure they remember you. Today, we remember Jesus Christ because of the impact he made in the world. But when you leave this world, when all is said and done, what are we going to remember you for? Are we even going to remember you? All right. I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you for your time. And I'm open to taking any questions. If you have questions.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much, brother. Emeka Nwarulor, that's amazing. I think let me just tell you that there's this quote you just gave right now, that people hear you before they see you. People hear your voice before they see you. That's amazing. I'm sure. So a lot of quotes have been dropped in the group already. You are going to be seeing some of them. We're going to be sharing them immediately after this conference. All right. So okay, right. I can see people are dropping in their chat already. Yeah, the session is fantastic. It's amazing. So so let's just take maybe 2 to 3 questions for Emeka, and then we can have the Honorable Commissioner come in briefly. And then after the Honorable Commissioner, we're going to go into a breakout session. We'll be telling you what we'll be doing in the breakout session. But right now, let's take questions for him. And please, you need to follow up Emeka on those platforms, LinkedIn, social media. Follow him for Solar as well. Follow people everywhere as much as possible. These people are doing amazing stuff, and you don't want to miss out on any of their sessions. Okay, yeah, I can see people saying they don't want to miss out.